Hey guys, thanks for tuning into F1Podcast. This is episode 89, the Brazilian review. And for those of you who watched our last couple of videos, you'd know that Max is away for a couple of weeks. So I'm flying solo today, which feels a little bit weird. But I've got Ayet here to help me, and this is a bit of a homage to the Brazilian Grand Prix, of course. So let's talk about the race. I mean, wow, what a race. Lewis Hamilton is now world champion in an unbelievable title decider. I've got to say, I've seen a lot of title deciders over the years, and this is probably the most exciting I've ever seen. It was amazing. And it was really cool, actually, from the start. There was a couple of things. The Brazilian crowd were going absolutely bonkers. I was loving that, such great atmosphere. And also that rainstorm just before the start. It was kind of funny seeing Flavio looking like a drowned rat, and also Bernie ducking for cover. And it really meant that the start was going to be really exciting, and I was just sitting on the edge of my seat. I couldn't wait. And of course the start, we had DC and Piquet go off. I was really sorry for DC. I felt really sorry for DC, I've got to say, just to see him go off on turn one. Piquet not so much, but really sad for DC in his last race to be walking back and waving at the crowd, and that's it for David. And really from the start, Massa did a great job. He, as far as I can see, was controlling the race. Lewis was in P4, and there's been a lot of banter about the strategies. Ross Brawn criticising McLaren for sort of the lack of aggression in the strategy, and Uncle Ron criticising Ferrari for their strategy. And I've got to say that I agree with what Ross Brawn said. I really think that Lewis probably should have been more aggressive rather than being in P4 and kind of, you know, he was obviously tentative, and he wasn't as aggressive as he was usually. And all of Ross Brawn's comments, I've got to say, I agree with. The result, of course, is Lewis is world champion, so Uncle Ron could argue, well, our strategy worked in the end, but geez, I tell you, it was close there. After that, the pit stops were pretty much non-eventful, and I was thinking throughout that period of the race that Lewis is definitely going to be world champion. He's going to stay out of trouble here. And then, of course, the information came that the rain was on its way, and I was like you guys, I couldn't believe it. I thought this is going to be an exciting end to the race. And then 8-10 laps to go, it started, baby, and you know, all the top drivers pitted for their intermediates, and Lewis then had his off, and Vettel went through. And all of a sudden, Massa was looking very, very good to win the race, and Lewis was out of the zone. And for those few laps, I was thinking, or like that lap and a bit, I was thinking, well, Lewis just can't catch Vettel. They had a couple of inboard, in-camera shots, and I think he's not going to do it. Of course, I knew the Toyota situation, and that Glock and Trulli had taken a gamble, but that last couple of corners, oh my God, I mean, how exciting was that, regardless of the outcome, whether you're a Lewis fan or a Massa fan. Just a really, really exciting end to the race. And it was quite interesting with the McLaren people celebrating and the Ferrari people celebrating at the same time. A little bit embarrassing, but I've got to say that Massa's engineer was right on the money, because he was told Massa as soon as he crossed the line, we're waiting for Lewis now. He's fighting Glock. He then told him that he'd overtaken Glock and that Lewis had got P5. So Massa's engineer had it right. Unfortunately, the Ferrari garage didn't have it right. So what about this situation with Glock? I mean, Glock's been criticised, and I've got to say that Glock and Trulli had an identical lap time, as you guys would know, and they took a gamble which didn't pay off, and it affected the World Championship. But I don't see anything untoward with what happened with Toyota and Glock. It was just one of those things, and so there you go. Lewis became world champion, Massa won the race, and those podium scenes were unbelievable. I felt so sorry for Massa. Yeah, these things happen. I remember when Prost lost the championship by half a point, and you could argue ifs and whats and buts and whys, and you know, if this happened, then maybe the outcome would be different, but the outcome was that Lewis won the championship. So that's it, the season's over. Lewis Hamilton's world champion, and Ferrari won the Constructors. Max and I are going to be doing lots of videos in the off season, and also if you click on our channel and select playlists and F1 podcast collection, we've got about 40 videos on there that don't relate to race reviews or anything like that. so they should help you through the off season as well. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.